risk my life for Austin. I loved him. I didn't mean to kill Austin. Ashley, I really didn't. I really think I did that. I didn't mean to hurt him.
Hello everyone, you are watching the USA News channel. Please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to support me. Footage of child killer Dylan Shoemaker in court. On March 19, 2013, 16-year-old Shoemaker killed one of his girlfriend's children, Austin Smith, after he wouldn't stop crying. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison. In December 2020, 16-year-old Logan Shoemaker was arrested for the murder of his girlfriend's son, 2-year-old Austin Smith, in Clinton County, Ohio. The details of the case shocked the community and raised questions about the circumstances that led to such a tragic event. According to police reports, Logan Shoemaker was left alone with Austin Smith and his 3-year-old sibling while the children's mother, Shoemaker's girlfriend, was away. During this time, Shoemaker brutally assaulted Austin, causing severe injuries. When the mother returned, she found her son unresponsive and immediately called 911. Austin Smith was rushed to the hospital, but despite medical efforts, he was pronounced dead due to blunt force trauma. The severity of his injuries indicated that he had been severely beaten. The autopsy later confirmed that the injuries were consistent with intentional abuse. Logan Shoemaker was arrested shortly after the incident and charged with murder and child endangerment. During the investigation, it was revealed that Shoemaker had a history of violent behavior and had previously exhibited signs of aggression. He was initially held in a juvenile detention center but was later tried as an adult due to the severity of the crime. The investigation uncovered that Shoemaker had been alone with the children and was the last person to see Austin alive. Evidence collected from the scene, along with witness testimonies, led to his indictment. The brutality of the crime and the age of the victim played a significant role in the decision to charge him as an adult. During court proceedings, Shoemaker's defense argued that his actions were not premeditated and that he had not intended to kill the child. However, the prosecution highlighted the intentional nature of the injuries and the reckless disregard for the child's life. Shoemaker ultimately pleaded guilty to the charges. In October 2021, he was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison for the murder of Austin Smith. The judge in the case emphasized the severity of the crime and the need for justice for the young victim. The death of Austin Smith and the involvement of a teenager in such a violent crime shocked the local community. Many questioned how such a tragedy could have been prevented and called for greater awareness and intervention in cases of domestic violence and child abuse. The tragic death of Austin Smith is a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities faced by children and the devastating impact of domestic violence. It also raises important questions about the role of the justice system in dealing with juvenile offenders who commit heinous crimes. The community continues to mourn the loss of a young life and hopes for greater vigilance to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Up next video. 11-year-old allegedly confesses to fatally shooting 82-year-old man and his daughter. An 11-year-old has allegedly confessed to fatally shooting a former city council member and his daughter, according to officials in Louisiana. Officers in Minden, about 30 miles east of Shreveport, received a call at 6:30 a.m. Sunday about two bodies inside of a house. Minden Police Chief Jared McIver told ABC News on Tuesday. Responders found Joe Cornelius Sr., 82, and his daughter, Keisha Miles, 31, dead from multiple gunshot wounds, he said. The 11-year-old, who is related to the victims, gave us a story at first that just didn't add up, and later the juvenile allegedly confessed to the shootings. McIver said at a news conference Tuesday. A motive is not known, McIver said. Investigators were told at first he was 10 years of age, but is confirmed to be 11 years of age, the chief said at the news conference. The child was at the house Sunday morning and allegedly shot the victims between 6 and 6:30 a.m., the chief said. Two guns that belonged in the house were found hidden on the property, the chief said, and the shell casings at the scene were of the same caliber as the two guns. The 11-year-old is in custody and is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, McIver said. We still got to put some puzzle pieces together, the chief told ABC News. The city can rest easy knowing that the suspect is off the street of a double homicide. But there's also the shock factor. There's a sigh of relief, there's a shock, there's mourning, there's just different emotions our city is running through right now. Only thing we can do right now is do this case the best we can, he said. The 82-year-old victim, Joe Cornelius Sr., was a longtime councilman in Minden and at one point served as the appointed mayor. According to Minden Mayor Nick Cox, Joe Cornelius's years of service to Minden were marked by his commitment and dedication to the betterment of our community. On a personal note, I am grateful for his friendship and the many ways he supported me and others in our city, Cox said in a statement. During this incredibly difficult time, I ask that we all keep Joe's family in our thoughts and prayers. May they find comfort and strength in the midst of this tragedy. Let us come together as a community to honor Joe's memory and support one another through this time of grief. Joe's efforts to improve Minden have left a lasting impact that will be remembered for years to come. What do you think about the issue we raised above? Please comment and let us know. Up next video. Cops discover horrifying crime scene in Florida. The case involving Daryl and Shannon Getman, an elderly couple who were found stabbed to death in their quiet home in Mount Dora, Florida, has shocked the community and drawn national attention. Here is a more detailed breakdown of the events surrounding their tragic deaths. Incident overview. Daryl Getman, 83, and his wife, Shannon Getman, 80, were discovered dead in their home on December 31, 2022. The couple had lived in the Waterman Village retirement community for several years, known for its safety and peaceful environment. Their deaths were particularly disturbing because violent crime is rare in this community. Discovery of the crime. The bodies of Daryl and Shannon were found by Mount Dora police officers during a welfare check requested by concerned neighbors. The neighbors had reported that the couple's car was missing and that they hadn't seen them for a couple of days. When the police entered the house, they found evidence of a violent struggle, and both victims had been brutally stabbed. Investigation and arrest. The investigation led to the arrest of 51-year-old Vicki Lynn Williams. She was found driving the couple's stolen car in Savannah, Georgia, and was taken into custody. Williams was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, grand theft auto, and armed burglary. Evidence collected from the scene included DNA samples, witness testimonies, and surveillance footage. The footage reportedly showed Williams entering the community, which is gated, under suspicious circumstances. It also depicted her around the Getman's home during the time of the murders.
The belongings to the people I showed you in the photo, the 2 people that are no longer on this earth, the belongings were in the car you were in.
You have to ask Fuller Blue.
Any person, a child could look at this like, yeah, that's the same
If that's what you're saying, but that's not what I'm saying. And I said I wasn't there.
Okay. This is your time to tell the truth. And the problem is you're an honest woman. You are. I can tell you're an honest, kind woman. You're just not telling the truth right now. And that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for the truth about the car. We know the truth about Fuller. You can tell a very easy, simple, honest truth that will make you feel 1,000 times better if you just say and tell us about this picture. You don't want to tell us about this picture and you sound foolish. You do. And I don't mean that insultingly.
You need to talk to my attorney. I'm done.
The tragic murders have left the quiet retirement community of Waterman Village shaken. Many residents have expressed fear and disbelief that such a horrific crime could occur in their close-knit, secure neighborhood. The community has since increased security measures and held vigils to remember the Getmans. Ongoing legal proceedings. Vicki Lynn Williams is currently awaiting trial. The case has drawn significant media attention due to the brutal nature of the crime and the vulnerability of the victims. The prosecution is expected to seek the maximum penalty. Conclusion. The murder of Daryl and Shannon Getman serves as a tragic reminder of how even the most peaceful communities are not immune to violence. The case continues to be under investigation as authorities seek to uncover more details about what led to this horrific crime. Up next video. 4-year-old boy fatally shot inside a St. Louis house after children were left alone. A 4-year-old boy died from a gunshot wound suffered inside a St. Louis home after the mother went to the store and left 4 kids alone, police said. Officers were called to the home by a child late Monday night and found the wounded child unconscious and barely breathing. The 4-year-old was rushed in a police SUV to a hospital, where she died. For children, a 10-year-old, 9-year-old, the victim and her 4-year-old twin, were in the house with no adults present, police spokesperson Mitch McCoy said during a news conference on Tuesday. The child was accidentally shot by a sibling. McCoy said. Police have not released the age of the child who fired the gun. It is early in our investigation, but it appears that the mother left the children alone in the home while she went to the store, McCoy said. The gun, he said, was apparently left in a place easily accessible to a small child. No charges have been filed and McCoy said the investigation continues. McCoy said the department and all of St. Louis is heartbroken by this awful and avoidable tragedy. Across the St. Louis metropolitan area, 15 children aged 17 or younger have died from gunfire in 2024, according to St. Louis Post-Dispatch records. The boy killed Monday was the youngest of this year's victims. Tara Rick, executive director of operations for the St. Louis Medical Examiner's Office, told the newspaper, McCoy urged all gun owners to lock up their weapons, especially if a child is in the home, he said. If you're going to own a firearm, be responsible for it. What do you think about the issue we raised above? Please comment and let us know. Thank you for listening. God bless you. See you in the next video.